To start off today's edition, here's Dana Vitalosova with women's news from around the globe for this Thursday, March 5th, 2020.
Sweden's Board of Health and Welfare has reported a 1,500% rise in gender dysphoria diagnoses among 13 to 17-year-old girls between 2008 and 2018. This number has, reportedly, shaken parts of the Swedish public, who therefore started to push back against gender reassignment. According to the journalist Richard Orange, because of this backlash, a new Swedish law proposal that would reduce obstacles to teenagers' medical transitioning was shelved. Lawmakers are now waiting for the Sweden's Board of Health and Welfare to reassess the evidence. According to The Observer, its report is due on 31st March. In the United States, 3 young women, Selena Soule, Alana Smith, and Chelsea Mitchell, filed a federal lawsuit to protect their Title IX right to equal access to sports. As Mary-Kate Fain reported, they say they were denied equal access to sports by their school's 2013 transgender policy. According to Barbara Fay, Selena Soule failed to qualify in the 55-meter dash for the New England Regional Championships by 2 spots. Both spots went to biological males. These 2 males now hold 15 women's state championship titles that were once held by 10 different girls. As 4W.pub informs, according to the complaint, the girls have been denied a total of 85 opportunities to participate in higher-level competition between 2017 and 2019. A Change.org petition to shut down one of the world's leading websites featuring pornographic videos, Pornhub, was launched in February. According to Pornhub, in 2019, there were over 42 billion visits to its website. Also, Pornhub boasts that in 2019, the site saw a record amount of uploads with over 6.83 million new videos. Many of these could contain footage of children and women being raped, as Pornhub doesn't have a reliable verification system in place. In fact, as Jessica Masterson reports, quote, "Over the last few years, Pornhub has been involved in a number of cases of sex trafficking and child rape," end of quote. One of those cases featured a 14-year-old girl, Rose Kalemba, who found a video of her being raped on Pornhub months after the violent assault took place. However, Pornhub refused to remove the footage and only agreed after Rose threatened legal action. To this day, the petition to shut Pornhub down and hold its executives accountable has amassed nearly 300,000 signatures. You can add your voice to the petition by clicking on the link you'll find in the description. The Feminist Party of Spain has been expelled from the coalition they formed with the Spanish leftist party called United Left, or Izquierda Unida. The reason for expulsion was their criticism of a speech in Parliament, read by an 8-year-old trans-identified boy. In this speech, the boy claimed to have been a transsexual for 4 years. Members of the expelled Feminist Party argued that no child can be transgender and expressed the wish to investigate the case for possible child abuse. They also protested gender identity law that the Podemos party tried to legalize in 2018, arguing that it erases women and makes feminism obsolete. The expulsion of the Feminist Party was the result of a petition created by the Trans Platform Federation, signed by 2,000 people. According to Quarto Poder, the president of the Trans Platform Federation, Marc Cambrole, has celebrated, quote, "the hygienic cleaning exercise," end of quote, at the United Left Party, and has asked that other parties, such as Podemos, do the same to expel transphobia from their ranks. A huge crowd gathered in Mexico City to protest the brutal murder of 25-year-old Ingrid Escamilla, as well as the media's irresponsible reporting. The young woman was stabbed to death by a man she lived with, who then proceeded to skin her, according to the BBC. It was forensic workers who leaked pictures of her dead body to the press. The Mexican newspaper La Prensa then published these grisly images with a headline saying, quote, "It was Cupid's fault," end of quote. During the protests, at least one vehicle belonging to the newspaper was set on fire, and several protesters tried to enter the newspaper's offices. In another reaction to the reporting, thousands of people shared pictures of beautiful landscapes on social media using the hashtag Ingrid Escamilla to drown out the grisly images and to honor her name. Several French feminist groups protested last week against Roman Polanski's 12 nominations for the César Award, which is the French equivalent of the Oscars. Women who gathered near Salle Pleyel in Paris, where the ceremony took place, held posters and chanted, quote, "Polanski violeur, cinéma complice," end of quote, which translates as Polanski is a rapist and the movie industry is his accomplice. Despite these and other protests against Polanski's nominations, last Friday, the director received the César for Best Director. As Entertainment Weekly reported, at the announcement of Polanski's win, French actresses Adèle Haenel and Noémie Merlan, including director Céline Sciamma, left the room in protest. In 1978, Roman Polanski was convicted of statutory rape of a 13-year-old Samantha Geimer. Despite being sentenced to just 90 days in prison, he fled the United States to avoid imprisonment. Since then, 4 other women have come forward with rape accusations. Marianne Barnard, who was only 10 at the time of the alleged rape, Charlotte Lewis, Robin M., and Renate Lange. The real victim count is probably much higher, as Polanski himself admitted in his autobiography that he frequently has sex with 15-year-olds. The Scottish Parliament passed a bill in the first vote that would provide free period products for everyone who needs them. The bill should make sanitary protection freely available not only in schools, but in other public-facing bodies, such as community centers and youth clubs, as well as in pharmacies. The bill was put forward by Labour's MSP, Monica Lennon, after it became known that about 1 in 4 women and girls at school, college, or university in Scotland had struggled to access period products. It is troubling that the bill's text contains no mention of the words woman, female, or girl, and that the makers of this law refer to what we've formerly known as women's toilets as, quote, all toilets other than those designated for use only by males. Despite this fact, the passing of the bill is set to help vulnerable women and girls who would otherwise struggle to access period products. That concludes WLRN's World News segment for Thursday, March 5th, 2020. I'm Dana Vitalosova. Share your news stories and tips with us by emailing WLRnewscontact@gmail.com and letting us know what's going on.